Welcome to lesson 19. We're going to continue working on multi-step solving of equations. But these equations are going to be a little bit more complicated than the last set. The last set was just in ax plus b equals c forms. In this one, you're going to see problems where you may need to distribute and also making sure that we're combining any like terms in the expression before we start isolating that variable. And that's our last step, to use our inverse operations to isolate the variable on both expressions. For this first problem, I do have my calculator because I noticed that many of the multiple choice options have decimals that are repeating, so I do want to have my calculator there to double check my work. All right, and as always, I don't look at the choices really or eliminate until after I'm done. So here's my problem. I have 3/5 times x plus 4/3 is equal to 1 400. So I need to distribute first in this problem. So I'm doing 3/5 times x plus 3/5 times 4/3 is equal to 1 4/10. Okay, so 3/5 x plus 12/15. All right, there's my first part. Now, I do have to subtract 12/15. Now, I'm going to make a choice here. 12/15, because I have some decimals on the other end, I'm going to choose to change 12/15 into a decimal. I'm using my calculator for that, and I get 0.80. So I want you to just see why I would rather use that. Why would I rather have 0.80? Well, for one, it's much easier for me to subtract that from both sides. So I'm just gonna make a little arrow so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna subtract 0.80 from both expressions, and that's going to leave me with 3/5 x is equal to 0.24. Again, you can use your calculator to check your work. Is there? All right, now I have 3/5 x is equal to 0.24. Again, I would rather these all be decimals, so 3/5 is the same as 0.60. So 0.6x is equal to 0.24. Now, look at how much easier I've made this for myself, dividing by 0.6 on both sides. So on the left side, I just have x, and I am going to use my calculator. And I'm getting, there you go, 4. 0.4 is my answer. And I wanted to use my calculator there so I didn't make any decimal mistakes. And you heard it. I even said 4 when my answer was 0.4. And now I can look at my choices and I can see 0.4 right here. But there we go. I went through each of the steps. You saw me distribute, and I decided to make the numbers more friendly by turning all my fractions into decimals. It made it way easier to do my inverse operations. So hit pause and jot this down into your notes. All right, let's work through this one. And here I have to distribute a -1. So I'm going to do that. -1 times a positive 2 is -2x, and then plus 4 is equal to 23. Let's combine our like terms, 16 and 4. So 23 is equal to 20 minus 2x. All right, I'm going to get rid of the 20 by adding its opposite. And that leaves me with 3 is equal to -2x. And I'm going to divide both of these by -2. So my final answer is 1.5. I'm actually going to, I don't want to leave it as 3, -3.5. middle school teacher can't do it. So I'm going to change it to 1.5. Negative 1.5 is equal to x. And now I want to check my work. So 2 times negative 1.5 minus 4. All right, so we're going to start with that. 2 times a 1.5 is negative 3. So negative 3 minus 4. All right, let's combine those like terms in the parentheses first. So negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. And now I'm going to distribute that negative 1. So 16. Negative 1 times a negative 7 is positive 7. And this is a true statement. 23 is equal to 16 plus 4. So hit pause and jot this one down into your notes as well. All right, we've done all the practice. We know when we have to distribute in these equations, and after we distribute, before we do anything to isolate the variable, we want to make sure we combine any like terms, and then we're using our inverse operations to isolate the variable. That's it for today's lesson, Math Marvels. I hope you found this helpful. We're getting a little bit more complicated with our work, which is a great thing. It's a great push. I will see you in the next lesson. Be well.